Hello, my name's Rebecca and welcome to the video. While I'm not on YouTube, I am actually a psychologist, and for this video I wanted to do an experiment on myself. So I'm going to do what we call a dopamine detox, and a super quick summary on dopamine and what it does and all these things is there's certain things that give us a lot of dopamine. Dopamine's a reward neurotransmitter, goes like up and then down, these like really quick peaks. So it's very addictive, but we don't actually feel that good after we're done with whatever activity it is, versus other things that don't give us a lot of dopamine, but kind of levels out for a while, and it gives us that sense of calm, of contentment. So those things can be like reading or going on walks or talking to our friends, things like that, that do actually make us feel better. But when we're so used to these highs of dopamine, it can be really hard to go to those other things that actually make us feel good. So one thing we can do is a dopamine detox, is getting off of those high dopamine activities. And those activities can look different for different people. And for me, that is everything basically that has to do with my phone. And I am going to be doing a dopamine detox for just 4 days. We're gonna see. I want to make a video, but I'm gonna try to make it kind of like an experiment as much as possible. So today I have basically a day off. I have to do a little bit of work, but not that much. Tomorrow I have a really high stressful, like clinical day in the hospital where I tend to use my phone a lot during breaks to just like decompress. I use my phone a lot. And the next day is a half busy day in the hospital and a half not so bad day where I'll be home. And then the last day I have another day completely off. There's nothing I really have to do. It'll be more of a fun day. So we'll see which days it'll be easier or harder for me, which feel better. And I'm also going to be tracking my mood, my energy levels, my levels of boredom, my feelings of ennui, which I've noticed I've been having a lot more of, and just see if it works for me. So a couple things I'm gonna do. I'm going to schedule out some of these things that I tend to go to when I am off social media, that I tend to scroll. So some of those things for me are emails, and Slack is another one. So I do have to check those things for at least my work days. So I'm going to schedule out specific times where I'm checking those things, and I won't check them at other times. And then I'm also going to create a dopamine menu, which I'll show you guys in a little bit what a dopamine menu is. The best way to have a dopamine detox is to just have a soft, cozy life, do cozy things. So it's also going to be a very cozy, lovely, hopefully relaxing video. Hello, I thought I'd give you guys an update for this morning. I've been tracking how I've been doing this morning so far. Each hour I kind of track how I'm doing. My pain is going down, which is nice, which I don't think has anything to do with not being on my phone, but my state of ennui has been still pretty high. So I think I'm gonna try to get out of my apartment. Plane is going really close by. I haven't decided 100%. I'm either going to go to a coffee shop, bookstore, or the zoo, but I haven't decided yet. I'm just going to like grab some of my stuff, my book, and get in the car and see where it takes me. Maybe the coast. Maybe I'll go down to like the lighthouse or the tide pools or something. But I think I just need to get out of here, because the more I'm here, the more I just like want to get on social media. And I think if I'm in a different environment, it's going to be a little bit more helpful. So we'll see where I end up. go to a store in North Park and then I went to the zoo for a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys what I call a dopamine menu, and I don't think you can see it the best. But the whole idea is that when we take away things that give us dopamine or a sense of reward or that kind of whatever you want to call a good feeling. We want to have as many options as possible. So for me, I'm still creating it. Can you see? Yeah. So I have easy stuff, I have stuff at home, I have places to go, and I think here I might put like work stuff, like things I can do while I'm at work. But having something you can just like look at, because sometimes when I'm just like I don't even know. Nothing pops up from my head. The easy one I think is really important. Right now I only have 3 things, but it's like when you're laying in bed and you don't even want to get up, like what are some things that you can still do? So that is my dopamine menu. I want to talk about the books that I'm going to read during this dopamine detox. And the first physical book is Those Who Leave and Those Who Stay, which is the third in a series, the Neapolitan series. If you've been watching some of my videos, you have watched me read a bunch of these. It's basically following 2 girls within their friendship who go different ways, who are from a poor town in Italy. Right now, as they're adults, both with children, I believe it's the 1970s, and there's a lot of like Italian politics things that are interspersed in this book specifically. So I've been enjoying it. I'm on page like 325. So I don't have too much left of this, maybe 75 pages or so. And then I am listening to a psalm for the wild things. I think I'll put it up here. On Libby. It's a very short audiobook. I am about halfway through. It's a cozy sci-fi book. It's a tea monk and a robot, and it's just a beautiful, wonderful book. I feel like it might be 5 stars. We shall see. And then the last book I'm going to listen to is Annie Bot, and it's about a robot girlfriend, and kind of I believe, I don't know too much about it. I've heard really good things about it, but I feel like all of these books that I'm reading are very much of the time. Politics, technology, kind of ethics around technology. A Psalm for the Wild Things is about how robots all left society, humans, 200 years ago, and then one came back to see what the humans need. It's a very beautiful book. It makes you think about like philosophy and things like that. And Annie Bot, I think it's gonna make us think about like AI and feminism and gender roles and things like that. So that's what I'll be reading. I'll probably read another physical book. I have a feeling I'll finish that one before the end of my detox, but we shall see. I'm about to go to Pilates, but I wanted to share like my thoughts so far. I've really noticed that when I'm in pain or like physical discomfort, it becomes so much harder not to go on my phone. Or if I am home and I don't have like a clear next thing that I'm gonna do, I like automatically like want to go to my phone to just like have that transition. I also noticed, which is a little bit obvious, is like when I'm doing like social things, when I'm around other people, it's not hard at all. But it's like when I'm alone, in pain, just in some sort of discomfort, lot more difficult. Good morning. I wanted to give you guys an update. I did finish Those Who Leave and Those Who Stay last night, and I'll say that I'm giving it like a 4.25. I liked it a lot. I didn't like it as much as her other 2 books that I've read in the series. I just didn't like the flow as much, and I felt like there was less character development in this one. But the ending, I'm not gonna give it too much away, but I will say like one of the characters, she makes such a stupid decision for her life, but at the same time it makes so much sense based on the other books. For example, it's like if you wanted something since you were like 14, 15, 16, and you're in your 30s now, and it kind of opens up for you, right? Even if it ruins your life, you might do it, right? You might go for it. So I really enjoyed the last part, but I was like, don't do it. This morning, it was difficult getting up. I usually have a little bit of like phone time in the morning before I get up, but I had to like force myself out of bed, which was difficult. I have quite a stressful day today. Thursdays are usually pretty stressful at work, so it might be a little bit difficult for me today, but I'll catch up with you guys when I get back from work. Hello, I look not the best because I was absolutely sobbing listening to the end of A Song for the Wild Bill. In my mid-year freak out, I was like, I never sob when I read books. I don't cry during books. You know, I think this one made me cry the most. And it's not even like something sad happened, but it was like about like life and like death and like the purpose of your life. Have you ever watched The Good Place? Like the feelings that you feel in the last few seasons, a lot of that. 5 out of 5 stars. Oh my gosh, so freaking good. One of the best books of the year, for sure, if not the best book of the year. My like dopamine detox part of it. Anyway, today was hard in terms of like the workload, a lot of like admin, report writing, that kind of stuff, which is like very, very boring office work. I work in an office without any windows, and I work a little bit longer hours, so like all my friends were gone. That was a hard time. But I was so busy that honestly, like, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. And then today, I know I want to go to the gym. I'm probably gonna go get a sandwich at Jersey Mike's. And yeah, I'm actually feeling like today is a little bit easier than yesterday because my day is more scheduled out. Hello, I am back from work. Work was absolutely insane. How is a half day of work more stressful? I don't know. Work was absolute freaking insane, and I can't talk about it at all on the internet. But I have been reading, or I guess listening to Annie Bot, and my reading since I stopped using social media and a couple other things on my phone, this detox, my reading, especially my audiobook reading, has gone like, this is the thing I need to like actually get back to my reading goals. Last night I finished my last audiobook, and then I started Annie Bot, and now I'm like halfway through, I think, Annie Bot, and it's like 10 hours long. Maybe I'm a third way through. Annie Bot is also really, really good. It's the concept sounds like it would be disgusting in a way, but the concept of Annie Bot is that it's a sentient sex robot girlfriend, and it's from her perspective, and it's very interesting. I've been reading a lot of robot books recently, and maybe I'll make a robot book video, like recommendations. But Annie Bot is super relatable, and in some ways, and not relatable in other ways. But it's such like, oh my gosh, if you're interested in like AI or like sentient robots or like gender or abusive relationships, this is a good one so far. I haven't finished it, but yeah. I went to the area where my Pilates is early because I was just at home not doing anything. But there's a world market right next to it, and I'm gonna see if they have any fall stuff yet. I know it's July, but I've been watching, or I used to watch before this freaking detox, the girlies go to I think it's Marshall, no, Home Goods, and find a lot of Michael's, and find a lot of Halloween stuff. So I'll see if there's any Halloween stuff at Walmart Market.
If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Dang girl, you did it
I'm back
again.
from Pilates. Show you what I got. I did find some fall stuff. The main fall thing I got was, I almost forgot what it was. Pumpkin chime. I'm so excited. You know what? I'm like, it's July, whatever. I want to have some tea tonight with, wait for it, a couple things. Gem and Dodgers. I've had these before. They're Scottish. They're in like every UK show. Don't ask me how much they were. Overpriced. It's fine. And then also, I've never had these before, which I'm actually very excited about. And I'm not really sure what they're gonna be like. They're tea cakes. And then they like just look so old-timey. They're from 1890. So still family business. So that's nice. Called cakes, but the first ingredient is dark chocolate. So I'm not really sure what it's gonna be, but I love dark chocolate. So I made myself a cup of the pumpkin chai, which it's not real tea, it's not real chai, it's dandelion root, not actual tea. But I will say that it is nighttime and it'll probably help me sleep, so I'm actually okay with it. I'm gonna try. Look at me doing YouTube things. Okay, the tea cake. It's like a hostess or something. Oh. Okay, I'm kind of squished up, but let me show you guys. Marshmallow inside. Okay, it's mostly marshmallow, and then like a cookie on the bottom, and then it's covered with dark chocolate. This is lovely. Now, Jammy Dodgers, which I've had before, which I do like. We have things like this in the US, I will say. They're just not as they're not like, these types of cookies aren't very popular. I feel like they're like grandma cookies, but they're cute. Like, look at that. It's not like the tastiest thing, actually. Gotta dip it. I'm gonna listen to my book, maybe watch a nice movie, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Saturday today. I slept so well. I don't know if that has to do with my detox or anything, but I just slept really, really well last night. I don't have a lot of plans today, which might not be good. I am going to pickleball in the afternoon, and I probably should do some editing, and I probably can clean and do laundry and stuff. But I really don't need to do anything. I don't have that much plans for today. So that for me is actually like, can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, but maybe I'll get out of the house. I think that will be helpful for me. I've also noticed my ennui getting lower and lower and lower. I'm also not having pain. I think I was just not feeling good that first day. So I don't think that had anything to do with not having social media. I was getting physical pain from not having social media. It was like I was already having physical pain, and not being able to distract myself was difficult.
But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to keep it tough? Will I ever settle down, happy with the here and now? When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough? Ever be enough? If only I could.
All right, I'm at the end of the Dopamine Detox, and I have finished 3 books, and I've also acquired 4 books. But I finished Annie Bot. I'm giving it 4.25 stars. It was very good. It made you think a lot about relationships, emotional abuse, control, power and control in relationships, what it is to be a human, so many things. So I really enjoyed that. I went to the library. I don't think I showed that at all, but I went to the library and I acquired 3 books. I got Persuasion by the Jane Austen. Everyone in this room will someday be dead, by Emily Austen, which was by this book. It was by the Jane Austen books. So I saw this and I was like, oh, I think I've looked at this book before, and it's a novel about a queer atheist woman who goes and sees like a flyer for free therapy, and she accidentally gets hired as a receptionist at a Catholic church. And it's a lot about death and dying, which I've always been very interested in terms of like fiction. And then the last one I got from the library is A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. And this one is a narrative between, well, not really a narrative, but there's like 2 characters. I believe one is in the US and one is a young girl in Japan, a little bit before the earthquake and tsunami in 2011. The woman in, I believe, the US finds some like a lunchbox and things of hers, of this other character, and kind of learns what happened to her in her life and things like that. And I vividly remember that tsunami because I went to Japan like a year before that, or maybe even a few months before that. So I like really vividly remember the tsunami. And then the last one I actually bought from Mysterious Bookstore is A Prayer for the Crown Shine. It's a very weird title, but this is the second book from the last book I read about the tea monk and robot, and I was like, I have to read the next one. And I want to get the physical version of the last one I read, but I more prioritized getting the next one coming up so I could read it and then later get the first one. Anyway, it's not that important. But that one made me freaking cry. So good. But yeah, that's all the books that I got. We're at the end of the Dopamine Detox. What did I learn? What did I discover about myself? What are things that I noticed? Number 1, obviously, I read so much more. I listened to books a lot more. I physically read a lot more. I'm really like getting out of my reading slump by just like not being on social media and some other parts of my phone. That's been really helpful. I also notice that I feel pretty awkward when I'm like waiting for things and I don't really know what to do. I like want to kind of like go on my phone and I'm like, I could look at my pictures, but what's the point, right? And then I kind of like notice things a little bit more. I have noticed that gets other people talking to me when I'm waiting because I'm not on my phone and I don't always want to talk to people, I'll be honest. And then I have been talking to just like people in my life a little bit more. I do feel like I've been talking to people in my life a little bit more the last 4 days. Some things that have been super helpful have been like just getting out of the apartment. I have noticed that like by getting out of the apartment, I tend to spend a little bit more money. So it's kind of that balance of like, you know what, it's okay, I can spend a little bit more money, be around other people, do things versus just like be on my phone all day. So there is that balance. You can obviously get out of your house and get out of your home without spending money, but it is harder. But before I end, I have created a book Instagram and I would love for you guys to follow along. I'm going to put all the bookish things I'm doing, more real life updates, more kind of like shorts, TikTok, Reelsy things there. So if you're interested at all, you want to follow along, please follow me on that Instagram. It will be down below. And of course, like and subscribe here if you want to see more videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.